Good evening, everybody. Welcome you all for this interactive section on borewell approval process with Groundwater Directorate. We have with us JAYANNA, is the Deputy Director from the Directorate. Srimati JAGADESHWAri, she is going to present it today. She is the Senior Geologist. We have with us our President, Mr. NAGARAJA, and myself, Satish Mallia, taking care of the technical services. And we have a lot of guests, and I think a lot of people going to join. So we will quickly request Mr. NAGARAJA to just have a few words. Then Mr. JAYANNA will introduce, and then we can start the meeting, sir.
Thank you, Satish. Welcome to the special guest today. We have been discussing this issue over a period of about, say, a couple of months, little more seriously on our WhatsApp groups, etc., and all that. It has become the talk of the day for some time, because after seeing one of the newspaper, prints on the groundwater and the borewell registration, etc., there have been a lot of questions on that. I think we will have a lot of clarification today, and without losing much time, I would welcome the guests. And thank you, Satish. You can kindly start off.
I request JAYANNA sir to speak about something and can start the meeting, sir. JAYANNA sir, can you hear me?
Sir, maybe you are muted.
You are on mute.
Now you are.
Good afternoon. I am audible, sir?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Today, we assembled through Google Meet. It's a very happy situation, sir. So, long back, you are requesting for some clarification regarding taking NOC, groundwater withdrawal, registration of borewells and all. Yesterday, we received some questionnaires from your end, and today we are trying to convince as per your questionnaires. This is very important, sir. Nowadays, water is very precious. This year, this one situation, we have faced a lot of problems due to in summer. Usually in summer, we are facing a lot of problems for drinking water, and for this, we are going to control and the groundwater utilization is very judiciously managed. So, as per that purpose, Government of Karnataka reforms the Karnataka Groundwater Authority. From the authority, we are issuing NOC according to our Act and rules. So, in the Bangalore urban and rural districts, many apartments, industries are seeking NOC, and they are trying to get borewell and NOC from Karnataka Groundwater Authority. So for that, we have developed a portal for easy access and easy communication and easy NOC issuing process. We have a groundwater NOC issuing portal. Everybody can access the portal and submit their request according to documentation. We are issuing already through it. So this is our setup for issuing NOC. So many data are arising in public. For that, we have some received some written complaints and written to give them to return they're clearing their doubts. So today also from your organization, you are assembled here through Google Meet. Hello, I'm audible, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Luke, sir, can you please?
Yes, sir.
mute
Yes, sir.
Doubts and questions. Our Jagadeshwari is one by one clear your doubts, sir. So let us. I pass to Jagadeshwari.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, you can run through the presentation so that people will be clear about what is the act and what is that you are looking for. Then lastly, we'll take the question and answers.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Sir, I am sharing the screen.
Okay, madam. Start.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody. Myself, Jagadeshwari, Senior Geologist from Groundwater Directorate. I have with me my another colleague, Mr. Nagaraj, who is also Senior Geologist in Groundwater Directorate. Now, I am going to present the procedure involved in obtaining the NOC or permission for groundwater withdrawal. In Bangalore particularly and in the state of Karnataka, what is the procedure involved for taking NOC for groundwater withdrawal? As JAYANNA sir told, due to over exploitation of groundwater, there is a need for regulation and management of the water that is available. So for with that view, the Karnataka Groundwater Regulation Control and Development Management Act 11 Rules 2012 has been implemented in the state of Karnataka, which is effective from April 2012. Under this Act and Rules, authority has been formed. The Karnataka Groundwater Authority has been formed.
I'll check.
Others,
Just
please
keep it.
mute.
No, both are same.
Ajay, please mute the others that except the speaker.
Done, sir. Done.
Yeah, thank you. Please go ahead, madam.
Yes, sir. This authority is effectively working from April 2012 onwards. A state committee has been formed, state authority, with the chairmanship of Secretary Minor Irrigation and Groundwater Development Department as the chairman and Director Groundwater Directorate as member secretary. In all the districts, 30 districts, district committees have been formed under the chairmanship of DC. And member secretary being our senior geologist. We have officers in all the 30 districts headed by senior geologists. In Bangalore urban, in BBMP limits, under the chairmanship of Chief Engineer BWSSB, a committee has been formed and the power has been delegated to this committee for regulation and enactment of this act and rules. Bangalore urban and Bangalore rural district, we have the deputy director office. In rest of the districts, we have senior geologist office. That is, in these two districts, the office is headed by deputy director. One of the deputy directors from Bangalore urban district will be joining us shortly. Some salient features of this act. Under section 3, the Karnataka Groundwater Authority is formed. Section 10, notification of taluks to regulate, control and development and management of groundwater. Under this section, talukas will be identified where regulation and control of groundwater utilization is needed, and those talukas will be notified.
Madam, the slides are not moving. It is, you are the first slide only.
Now it's moving, sir.
No, you have put it on the slideshow.
Now it is moving, sir.
No,
I don't think so. Not yet.
we are the first slide only.
Slide move ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
Sir, I will just check. Can you view the next slide, sir, now?
Yeah.
Now we can see the second slide.
Yeah, now we are in the salient features of the Act. That is under Section 3, authority was established. Section 10 is notification of taluks to regulate groundwater and for management. As of now, 45 taluks has been notified under Karnataka Groundwater Authority. In that, Bangalore Urban and Bangalore Rural District talukas, all talukas are notified. Section 11, why I am stressing on this point is, in notified talukas, there are some actions that needs to be taken before taking NOC. That is, registration of borewells comes into picture only in notified talukas. Under Section 11, grant of permit to drill a borewell, extract and use of groundwater. Under this section only, we are issuing NOC for groundwater withdrawal. Section 12 is registration of existing users in the notified area. Under this section, existing borewell structures, withdrawal structures will be registered. Section 13, registration of drilling rigs. Section 32 is violation of the Act, which attracts penalty and or imprisonment both. The Karnataka Groundwater Authority is providing 4 services to the public for regulation of groundwater extraction. One is permission for drilling new borewell in notified talukas. In notified talukas, if any person is willing to drill a borewell, they should take permission first. After getting the permission, they should go for drilling the borewell. If the borewell is drilled before the notification of a taluka, then registration of the borewells, action for registration of the borewell should be taken up. Next service is registration of rigs, and the 4th service is NOC for commercial use of groundwater. As I already said, there are 45 notified talukas. They are actually overexploited talukas. What Groundwater Directorate does is, as per the Central Committee for Groundwater Estimation, GEC 2015, we do groundwater resource estimation periodically as per the central government guidelines. So as per the latest assessment, the talukas have been categorized as overexploited, critical, semi-critical and safe talukas based on the groundwater that is being used against the groundwater that is being recharged annually. Annual replenishment and annual withdrawal are calculated, and the talukas are grouped as overexploited, critical, semi-critical and safe talukas. The overexploited talukas has been notified under authority. The numbers are 45, and the notification of 52 talukas as per assessment 2020 is in progress. This is stage of groundwater development. That is the groundwater usage percentage over last 5 assessments. We have been doing the assessment of groundwater resources from 1999, since 1999. So as per 2004, 2009, 2013 and 17 and 2020 assessment, the groundwater usage has been 70%, 68, 66, 70, and now at present it is 65%. Means out of 100% groundwater that is available, we have been extracting 65% of it in the state of Karnataka. Under section 11, which is our main interest topic today, that is NOC for groundwater withdrawal. Under section 11, extraction of groundwater for commercial, industrial and entertainment purpose, NOC for groundwater withdrawal is issued. As per the provisions of the Act, the power has been delegated to District Committee for enactment of the Act. NOC for groundwater withdrawal of less than 25 meter cube, that is 25,000 liters per day, will be issued from the District Committee itself. That is, your application process will start at the district level and it will end at the district level itself. If your groundwater usage is more than 25 kiloliters, 25 meter cube per day, then the District Committee will receive the application, will scrutiny and will do the inspection, will place the application in District Committee, will get the recommendation of the DC Committee and will forward it to State Authority. In State Authority, there are two committees, one technical committee and one State Authority. The technical committee will again scrutiny all the documents and the recommendations from the District Committee along with this technical officer's inspection report, and will place in the State Technical Committee meeting. There the application will be approved with the conditions that is recommended by the District Committee, and if additional conditions are felt that it has to be imposed, will impose those conditions and NOC will be issued. So we will go step by step procedure. Since most of the apartment, so in this association, most of the apartments are in Bangalore urban and Bangalore rural district, as I understand from Satish sir. So Bangalore urban and Bangalore rural, both the districts fall under notified area. So I have concentrated the procedure for notified area here. The process flow will be like this. The first in notified area, I will just brief the less than 25 meter cube case. So as I told earlier, the process starts at district office and NOC is issued at district office level. The first step in a notified area is registration of the existing borewell with the authority. If the borewell is not yet constructed, for construction of new borewell, then permission to drill a new borewell will be the first step. If the borewell is already in place, you will have to register the borewell with the authority. So the application form is form 4 and the registration certificate will be issued in form 5A. Fee would be rupees 500 per borewell. If you have more than one borewell, so into so many borewells, 500 into 2 borewells, or if you have 4 borewells, 500 into 4, 2000 will be the charges. So along with form 4, you will have to submit a few other documents like recent tax paid receipt, land ownership document or lease document relating to land, Aadhaar copy, and submit in our district office, concerned district office for commercial users. So if you are in Bangalore urban district, you will have to submit it in our Bangalore urban district office, which is situated in Vishweshwaraya Tower, 13th floor. It is also online. It is also, the service is available online. You can also apply online also. It is in the same web portal that is there for NOC for groundwater withdrawal.
What is the survey charges, madam?
So this is second step. This is for permission for withdrawal of groundwater from borewells. The first one is registration of your borewell. You get, once you get your borewells registered, you will have to apply for withdrawal, for getting NOC for withdrawal of groundwater. So here the application mode is online. No offline mode is there for NOC. So permission will be issued also online. Fees is rupees 500 per borewell plus 3,000 rupees survey charges. For every one application, the survey charges is 3,000. And if you have one borewell, 3,000 plus 500, 3,500. If you have two borewells, 3,000 plus 1,000. It's like that. Since it's an online process, the payment will also be routed to will be through online only. So survey charges, if you enter the number of borewells, it will give you total amount that you need to pay. So you need not sit and calculate it. The system will calculate. The portal is shown here. It is kgwa.in/public. Before you log into the portal, you ensure that you have all the necessary documents. What are the documents that are required? I will brief you in coming slides. You should have water budgeting to know the eligible withdrawal quantity. That is quantity, sorry, not quality. Site inspection by concerned district senior geologist. That will be done after your application. And then the file will be placed with the technical report in DC committee. In the DC committee meeting, the recommendations will be drawn. After the proceedings is signed, the signed proceedings will be uploaded online. If it is, since it's less than 25 meter cube, once the DC committee proceedings is signed and uploaded in the online portal, the district senior geologist or the deputy director, who is the member secretary for district committee, will issue NOC by e-signing e-signing online. Your NOC will be issued. For more than 25 meter cube, the step one would be registration of the borewell if it already exists, or permission to drill a borewell. If no borewell exists, take permission for drilling a borewell and get the borewell drilled. For both the cases, 500 rupees is the application per borewell. 500 rupees is the fees per borewell. Second step would be applying online for withdrawal of groundwater. Here, first few steps would be same. Ensuring necessary documents. Once you upload online, apply online. The senior geologist will do site inspection and put up the technical report and place the file in DC committee. Draw the recommendations of the DC committee with proceedings. Get it signed from the DC. Upload the DC committee meeting recommendations along with necessary document in KGWA NOC web portal. Member secretary KGWA. Once the DC committee proceedings are uploaded, if it is more than 25 meter cube, automatically the file will be pushed to state authority for state authority dashboard. So we will receive the application. So from the head office, state committee, we will go through the documents, see the recommendations from the senior geologist or deputy director, and DC committee's recommendation will place in the technical subcommittee for one more round of scrutiny. The technical subcommittee comprises of members from Pollution Control Board, Central Groundwater Board, Rural Water Supply, and our department director as the chairman and deputy director as the member secretary. After the technical committee scrutiny the documents received from the district office, proceedings will be drawn, and based on the recommendations, the NOC will be accorded or denied. And this approved NOCs will be placed in the KGWA state authority headed by secretary for post facto approval. Now, I have given the theoretical part of NOC workflow procedure. I will run through the NOC web portal for your better understanding. Till now, if you have any doubts, I think you can raise your queries. Otherwise, I'll run through the portal live. You can have a look at it, and then we can go for the questionnaires you have already given to us. And if you have further more queries, we will clarify those doubts also.
Satish, can I ask questions on behalf of the people?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jagadeshwari madam, there are a few questions that have come, which are
Yes,
on the chat window. One of them is, are apartments considered as commercial? And I understand that there is a water withdrawal limit, which is like 20,000 liters per day. In such condition, it is is that true, or is there a different meaning to commercial?
So if your apartment has got STP established, then it will be a commercial use.
You're giving unfair advantage to people who have not put a STP in that case.
No. For reference, I am telling you, if you have a STP, then you are a commercial user. If the construction is more than 4 floors, I think 4 floors, then it is a commercial establishment. It will be considered as apartments. With 3 floors, it will be considered as domestic use, and more than 3 floors, that is, if it is more than 4th floor and above, it is a commercial use.
Okay. And I think there's what kind of a timeline will it be once you apply for that withdrawal, and
Yes,
all data, all documents are in line, and the upload is complete? Will it be finished in a week, 1 month? What kind of timeline?
Sir, to be frank, it will take at least 3 months.
Will take 3 months. Okay. All right.
Because it involves DC committee. So our district people cannot go to DC with a single application or 2 applications. So they will be going at least with a minimum of, in Bangalore like city, they will district, they will go with at least minimum of 10 applications to DC for asking his date. So it matters when they will get the date from the DC. So there we will keep 1 month as the timeline, 1 month, or sometimes it may go to 1.5 months also, and here 1 month. So roughly 2.5 months to 3 months minimum, if your documents are all in perfect
order
and place.
Okay, before we go ahead, I want to ask Gautam Kamath to enunciate, because he's put in a few questions here. Gautam, would you like to unmute yourself and ask a question, one question, so that we can then come back later?
Madam, we are all coming in the BWCSP zones. We have not yet got the water from BWCSP. Now, some apartments have multiple bore wells. Maybe each, like my own apartment, for reference, we have about requirement is 75,000 KL per day, but we have 4 bore wells, which are old ones. Now, that is one part. So we will be coming under commercial. That's what I understand from the discussion now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so process wise, we will take care of the applications and all. So now commercial, what do we mean by commercial? Any rates for that is specific, different?
One is rates. The other thing is domestic use does not require any NOC for withdrawal.
Correct.
Like
So
single household or a building consisting of 2-3 houses will not require any NOC for groundwater withdrawal, where their usage will be 2,000 to 3,000 liter or less than that.
correct. So now what we understand now, apartments are also 100% domestic, which I think BAF has to take up at the ministry level for this, because if we are considered as commercial, then the whole thing is totally different. I think that's a separate subject. We should take it up.
I would like to interrupt.
Yes,
In BBMP limit, maybe you are aware of that. For drinking purpose also, they can take permission through BWSSP. Through BWSSP, they send to the application to our department. We are given the technical report to them, and they are issued the permission for dig a bore.
no, sir.
That is there.
My question was, we have bore wells already. We are coming under BBMP 110 village zone.
Yeah.
So how do we go forward now?
So, as per Madam said, if your house group is more than fourth floor,
Correct. Yes.
it comes under commercial exploitation. So for that you can take permission.
Sure, sir. We will come back. I think Pradeep will have to take it separately on the commercial part.
Yeah, we'll do that. Thank you.
Actually, can I, sir?
Yes, madam. Please go ahead.
It's a policy matter, sir. If you proceed with the higher authorities and if you take exemption, then it will be included. As of now, exemption is only for agricultural use and domestic household use.
Exactly.
In our act and rules and our guidelines. So in the since it's a policy matter, if you take it to your higher levels and if the policy comes, it will be included. Otherwise, you will have to take permission, and whatever the nominal charges are there, it's actually less than your BBMP water supply costs. Our groundwater cost that is there, charges that is there for your withdrawal is less than BWSSB charges.
Yeah, we understand it's like a royalty.
Charges.
It is like a royalty which we pay.
It is like a royalty only.
Yeah, if you can know the amount also, that will be quite helpful, madam.
Sure, sir. I will in next slides I will explain those.
Yeah, in the process wise, we BAF we would take it up at the ministry level. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Gautam, policy questions let us not ask. What are the practical questions you can ask? Policy we are separately discussing with them.
Yes, sir. That's what I said.
Satish, one question to JAYANNA sir and JAGADESHWARI ma'am. What is the implication of this process to the apartments, those who have already registered with BWSSB and paying that, the charges for the groundwater extraction charges? So how this process apply to those apartments? I think JAYANNA sir has mentioned some, like that.
Sir, actually what BWSSB charges, yes, sir. What BWSSB charges is for every household which has got borewell, the household, the borewell water that is being used is let out in the same sewage line that was constructed for BWSSB water sewage. So they charge sewage charges. Sanitation charges. It is not groundwater usage charges. It is sanitation charges.
No, there is a separate sanitation charge. There is a separate sanitation charge already.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, for that groundwater extraction, there is 100 rupees per flat, and then sanitation charge is actually 25% of total, plus whatever that borewell water plus the whatever the BWSSB intake. So that is the sanitation charges. So here, if an apartment already having registration of borewell with the BWSSB and they are paying the charges to BWSSB, do they have to register their borewells again with the groundwater authority?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
I will interrupt. What BWSSB persons put the sanitation charges, that is only for sanitation use from borewell. So we are, they are not registered by the borewell. They are not registered the borewell. From our groundwater authority, we can register the borewell. They are not given the registration certificate.
Okay.
From our end only, we will give the registration certificate for borewell.
Right.
All right, sir.
To add to, to add to what our deputy directors told, if you have a registration certificate in Form 5A, in one of the slides I showed that application for registration of borewell is Form 4. You will receive the registration certificate in Form 5A. They would have mentioned it as Namune 5A. This is Form 5A. In that Form 5A, there is a standard format for issuing for registering the borewell. If you have received Form 5A from BWSSB, since we have delegated powers to BWSSB, earlier BWSSB was giving registration of borewell certificate from BWSSB for commercial and the residential users. Since there was some confusion, all the commercial users, even in BBMP limits, were also are being issued registration certificate from our district deputy director office only now. If your borewell is very old one and you have registered borewell from BWSSB and received form 5A, then no need of registering again. If the registration is not in form 5A, then you will have to register your borewell with the Karnataka Groundwater Authority. If it is in Bangalore, you will have to get it registered from our district office. That is situated in Vishwashwara Tower, 13th floor.
Yes, ma'am. That is very clarified now. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
I
madam.
think, ma'am, you can continue the presentation. Last, we'll take the question, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Now I will be presenting our web portal live. How to register in our web portal, how to log in. Before login, what are the documents that needs to be kept ready? All those things I will be explaining, sir. Just in Google, type kgwa.in/public. You will get this web portal groundwater. Click on that. This is the home page of our NOC web portal. Here in the top end, you can see login, new user, department login. So all are new users now. Click on the new user. By clicking on the new user, you will be registering to use the web portal. For this, you require 3 things: 2 mobile numbers and 1 Aadhaar card copy. 2 mobile numbers, because if one is not working, then the other number will be of use, since you will be receiving OTP. Please ensure that these mobile numbers that you enter is of the mobile which is accessible to you. If you are giving mobile number of the highest official of your concern and that is not accessible to you, if you get an OTP, for taking that OTP, you will have to run to your higher official. So it's better to give mobile number which is very accessible to you. So you require 2 mobile numbers. Just click on new user. Here what happens is while registering, common mistake that is being done by many people is since they give their own mobile number, they give their name here. Once you register here, the same name is taken when you are applying. So when you apply on behalf of your apartment, there your name will be reflected in the name of the apartment column or name of the company thing. So it's better you enter your apartment name only when you are registering to use the web portal. Also give an email ID which is accessible. Enter 2 mobile numbers here. For ID proof, we suggest you to go with Aadhaar number. Since PAN and GST OTP will not be linked to it, you better go for the Aadhaar. Enter the Aadhaar number, unique ID number. You will receive an OTP. Upload the document also. That is Aadhaar document only. There will be 2 addresses in many cases. One is a office address, that is a permanent address, and one is a specific address. For example, Shobha group of apartments will have a permanent address and location specific addresses. So both the addresses you can enter here. Then just say register. So your both the numbers, mobile numbers will get registered once you give these details. The registration process is very simple. Next is login. With either of the mobile number, you can log in. So enter that mobile number here. Just click send OTP. We have one number registered here. We will enter that number. See, now that we are into the public login now. This is the home page of the login. You have a home tab, next is services tab, and then check status, guidelines, FAQs, language, and user manual. I suggest please go to user manual and download the user manual first. The user manual is available in both the languages. This portal itself is available in regional language, that is Kannada and English. So you can download whichever language is comfortable for you. Go through this manual. This manual will brief you how to register, how to log in, what are the documents required. These steps just now I explained how to register to the web portal. Then how you should log in. After you enter OTP, after you log in, what are the steps you need to do. So all these things are briefed in this user manual step by step. NOC application, online application will have 7 steps. So if you log in into NOC web portal, you will have to run through 7 steps. So now we are in the under services. There are 2 services. One is registering existing borewell. This has to be live launched. It is in the testing stage. Second one is permission for withdrawal of groundwater. You click on permission for withdrawal of groundwater. It asks for a declaration that the fee is non-refundable. So you check on this I agree box and confirm. Actually, I will run through the steps in the from manual itself, because since this web portal is already live, if I run through live, this application will become a dummy application there. So I will have to reject this application. Then I will have to give clarification to the authority why I rejected a file. So I will be running through the user manual. The user manual will give the same picture as the live one. All the steps will be shown in the user manual. So we will be going through under services, click on permission for groundwater withdrawal. So step 1 would be entering the ownership details. Here in step 1, general details will be asked for. One is category. Select the category, means whether you are an industry or an infrastructure or an entertainment firm or a mining sector or others. So in this meeting, only apartment people are there. So you will have to select infrastructure. Whether it is a fresh application or a renewal one, click on the fresh one if you are applying for the first time. If you are coming for the renewal, click on renewal. Next is communication, contact details for communication. This is also very important. Why? Because during offline process, we used to face problem in approaching or getting a contact person for a particular industry or an infrastructure to ask for additional documents, to give any communication to that particular industry or an infrastructure. This communication number or a name was missing. So you please mention a right contact person and his mobile number. Second step would be borewell details. In borewell details, you can enter as many borewells you have by just clicking on this add button. So for every borewell, it will ask for some detailed information, which is shown here. You will have to give the district, taluk, hobli, and village details and say add location. If you have more than one borewell, say add location and add the second borewell details. If you have more than two, say again add location. Once you are done with all your borewells, say you have 5 borewells, you will have to enter the details 5 times. Next step is entering the land ownership details. So whether you are an absolute owner of the property or an approved owner of the property. In industrial establishment, you will be an approved owner, or you will have you might have got the property on lease. So in those cases, you will have to say approved owner. If you are an absolute owner, say absolute owner and upload the document. It will accept PDF files. For each and every step, you say save changes. The fourth step is project details and hydrogeological report. This is new project, project under expansion, or an existing project. Means if you are just going to construct an apartment, then your case will be a new project. If your apartment is already exist and you want to increase number of floors or have an additional block, then it is project under expansion. If your apartment exists and you don't want to do any changes, then it is an existing project. I think almost 90% of the apartments here are existing project.
Madam.
Yes, sir.
So anybody have the a problem with the portal, you can ask, madam. For uploading the application, is there any problem? You can
ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಜಯಣ್ಣ ಸರ್. ಇದುವರೆಗೂ
ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ.
ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಈಗ, ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ
You can contact me. If you have any problem in accessing the portal or portal is giving any error messages, you can always contact me, sir. If the problem is too much, we will give you the number, contact details. So we have one dedicated mail for that, KGWA IT, for which you can send the mail. The IT person will look into it and will solve the issue at the earliest.
Okay.
Okay, go next slide.
Next thing is hydrogeological report. This is basically the groundwater. This report will consist of the groundwater condition in that particular project area. This you can get it done from a consultant. It will have a main topics would be water budget of your area. That is your water requirement, how you are meeting up your water requirement, whether all your water requirement is met through groundwater or some surface water supply like BWSSB or local Gram Panchayat supply, or you meet through rainwater, harvested rainwater, or you use the secondary water also, which is treated for gardening purpose or any other secondary uses. So all those details will be incorporated in this hydrogeological report or a DPR, detailed project report. And impact of your groundwater usage on the groundwater regime of the area surrounding your apartment, quality impact, all those things will be included in the report. So you will have to upload that hydrogeological report in this step.
Madam, one question.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any approved or empaneled consultants?
As of now, we have not empaneled any consultants from Karnataka Groundwater Authority. You can take the consultation of any geologist or
Okay.
an environmentalist who are in the field.
Okay, thank you.
Next is rainwater harvesting. So one question was whether there is a limit for groundwater withdrawal, quantity limitation. Sir, it is like a bank account. If you have any balance in your bank account, you can withdraw. So here in overexploited taluka, it is like if you have balance in your account, you can only withdraw 50%. So to make you understand better, the recharge capacity in your premises will be calculated. So in this hydrogeological report, the consultant geologist will do that also. They will calculate the recharge potential of your area based on the rainfall that will be falling in your premises, how much of rainfall that is potential of getting down to earth and get it and recharge the groundwater. So 50% of your recharge capacity will be allowed for withdrawal. So rainwater harvesting chapter would be an important chapter. The rainwater harvesting potential depends on your rooftop area, your open area, your garden area, and your paved area. Because runoff varies in all these landforms. Here, the rainwater harvesting measures you have already taken up or you have proposed to take, those details should be uploaded here. One column is whether rainwater harvesting measure details enclosed. If you have rainwater harvesting system already in place, you say yes and you can upload. Whether artificial recharge proposal enclosed. If your recharge measures are not yet taken up and it is under proposal, you can attach the proposal. And save changes. Excuse me, sir. Our Deputy Director from Bangalore Urban District has just now joined. Her name is Srimati Ambika. I welcome her for the meeting. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, madam.
Please proceed.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. The next step is water requirement and water supply. This is basically, as I already explained, what is your total water requirement? If you have consent from Pollution Control Board, so that when you approach for the consent, you will have a clear picture of the requirement of your apartment and how you are meeting up the requirement.
Yes, madam. We have a water balance which we submit.
Yes, yes. There may be some changes in that water balance when you proposed, and the actual usage may vary. You can give the present picture of your water usage and water requirement and water supply. So those details needs to be uploaded in this step 6. So your total groundwater requirement, water balance sheet needs to be uploaded. If you have STP in place, your STP flowchart needs to be uploaded here in the recycled water flowchart column. One more thing is, somebody said that you don't have supply from BWSSB, but the apartment people would have approached BWSSB for water supply. They would have accorded some quantity, or in some cases they would have said for various other reasons. Maybe the common reason is pipeline is not yet done for this area, so we cannot supply water. So whether they have accorded any supply or whether if they have denied, you should upload those documents there. That is whether proof in respect of water supply from Gram Panchayat or local water supply is enclosed. If they have denied, denial letter. If they have accorded, how much quantity they have accorded, that letter you will have to upload in these columns. Since yours is an infrastructure, few apartments would have taken, that is next step I'll come. Next is water quality. Usually any apartment or any industry would be carrying out water quality analysis of the borewell at least twice a year, once in the pre-monsoon and the next in the post-monsoon, or however their policy is. So recent water quality reports should be uploaded here. This is to check whether the water that is being used is of potable quality. Whether it is in the drinking water standards. So this is step 6. So after you say yes and upload those documents, save the changes. Step 7 is referral letters. This includes referral letter from Pollution Control Board. If you have CFP, upload it, or if you have CFO, upload it. Since yours is an infrastructure, I think EC will be there for few apartments, environmental clearance certificate. If it applies to you, say yes and upload it. If you are a renewal person, if you have come for renewal, whether copy of referral letter to obtain NOC from KGA is enclosed. That is your earlier NOC copy. If you are a person coming for renewal. Whether the application has been rejected by KGA anytime, you say yes or no. In most of your cases, it is no. So save changes. So these are 7 steps completed. The final step would be payment. So after you finish all these 7 steps and upload the documents, you will be routed for payment gateway. So here you can say proceed for the payment. Enter the mobile number and email ID. Then say proceed. Based on the number of borewells you have entered, plus 3,000, it will calculate and it will give you the amount that needs to be paid. So you can make the payment through UPI, internet banking, either of the modes. Once you make the payment, you will get this message. You will get a reference order number also. And then you can go to the check status step. There you can check the status of your application. You will get an ID, order ID, right? So with that order ID, you can track your application here. So it will say, it will tell you what is the status of your application, whether the documents have been checked. The water budgeting step has been checked and reviewed. What is the comment? Whether it is approved or they have rejected the water budgeting, whether site inspection has been done, whether it has been placed in the DC committee or not. So all these steps you can track. If it is approved, you will get approved icon highlighted here. Then it is understood that your process is completed. Next is, I will go for the queries that you have raised.
Pradeep, you can collate any extra questions, no, from the chat, and you can ask.
No, first let us go by the questions that have been raised already, then go to the chat, then keep it open for questions. That's better. You have already compiled the FAQ, no?
Yes, sir.
Questions. That can go.
I will
for-
share the questionnaires with the replies. The first question was an apartment complex has 3 to 4 borewells whose water is drawn for daily domestic use. PWSSB water is still not provided. Does this need a license? Yes, any groundwater user, whether there is supply from local water supply agencies promised or not, should take NOC for commercial use of groundwater. Only agriculture sector and individual households are exempted from obtaining NOC for groundwater withdrawal. If license is required, is it one time or it needs to be renewed annually or at some interval? The NOC for groundwater withdrawal is not one-time permission. It should be renewed periodically. The renewal period varies for different category of taluks and for different category of groundwater users like industry, infrastructure, mining, entertainment, group housing, society, etc. However, in overexploited taluk, for all the category of groundwater user, NOC is
Madam,
for 2 years.
Madam? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Madam.
Yes, sir.
Madam, for next question,
Yes, sir.
need not take permission from NOC from individual households, but they can take permission for digging a borewell. That you can tell them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Individual households does not require NOC, but individual households for drilling a borewell in notified area, they should take permission for drilling a borewell, and if they've already drilled a borewell, they should get their borewell registered.
Registration.
Yeah. Exempted. Registration and permission is mandate for all the groundwater users in notified area.
What I understand is drawal NOC is not required. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Overexploited taluk, that is notified taluk.
Drawal NOC, sir.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
In the drawal NOC for withdrawal of the groundwater, we are specifying the quantity. 10 KLD, 20 KLD, 15 KLD, 50 KLD, like that. For individual household, we are not mentioned the quantity.
Yes.
Just we are given the permission for drilling.
Yeah. Clear, sir. That is clear.
That same borewell will registered in the authority.
Got it, sir. Clear, sir. For individual house. Yeah.
In overexploited taluk, for any category, for all the category of groundwater user, whether it is industry, infrastructure, mining, entertainment, the NOC validity period is 2 years. So NOC should be renewed every 2 years once. Bangalore urban and Bangalore rural district, all the talukas are overexploited. So here the NOC is valid for only 2 years. Can the borewell owner ask for cancellation of license if borewell is not being used? The process for this. Yes, if the NOC can be surrendered if the borewell is not being used. But while surrendering the NOC, the alternate arrangement made for fulfilling the water requirement should be submitted. Also, the reason for not using the borewell should be clearly mentioned. For example, one person said that we don't have BWSSB water supply. Say, for example, after 1 year of receival of NOC, you get the BWSSB water supply that to 100% of your requirement. Then you will not require borewell. That time you can surrender the NOC with the proof of BWSSB connection, everything again to our district office. Cancellation of NOC will be an offline process. Cancellation request should be submitted to the concerned district office. Based on the district office recommendation and site inspection report, cancellation action will be taken up. The borewells are pre-existing. Builder has not handed over any license.
Madam, 1 minute.
Yes, yes, sir.
Madam, you can clear them to abandoned and rejuvenated borewell. If borewell is abandoned, it is no use. After getting the very good rain, it will rejuvenate it. How do you know it is rejuvenated or not? That can inspected by our senior geologist with the proper report. Then you can submit the utilization purpose. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
sir.
Clear, sir.
That was, I think, one of the questions wherein the question was the borewell is a very old borewell which was not working, and due to good rain in recent years, it has got rejuvenated. So whether this borewell also needs to be registered and water withdrawal needs NOC. If the borewell gets dried up in 6 months, what should be done? That kind of a question was there. That is why our BD sir is mentioning that whether it is rejuvenated or not, whether it will yield, all those things should be inspected by a technical officer. So that will be carried out by the concerned district officers. The borewells are pre-existing. Builder has not handed over any license. How to go about it? The present owner of the borewell should get the borewell registered first in Karnataka Groundwater Authority. Whether the old owner has registered it or not, if they have not registered, it becomes the current user of the borewell to get the borewell registered. Then apply for NOC online for groundwater withdrawal and obtain NOC. Is there any restriction of quantity of water that can be withdrawn? Yes, there is restriction for groundwater withdrawal in different category of taluks. In overexploited taluk, the groundwater permitted for withdrawal is, as I earlier explained, 50% of the recharge potential and recharge measures taken up in the area. However, if the recharge potential in the premises is not sufficient for qualifying for groundwater withdrawal of your required quantity, then additional recharge measures and rainwater harvesting measures in the watershed where apartment is situated should be taken up. Before taking up such measures, you will have to take the permission of the local authorities concerned, and our technical officer, our DD or our senior geologist should be consulted. And with their suggestions, you will have to take additional groundwater harvesting, rainwater harvesting measures, which will qualify you for your additional requirement. Next question is, will KGWA introduce royalty on drawing with water? We don't call it as royalty, but it is called as abstraction or restoration charges. It's already introduced from 24/9/2020 onwards. The abstraction charges is applicable in non-notified talukas. Restoration charges is applicable in notified talukas. In Bangalore, urban and rural districts which are notified which come under notified talukas category and overexploited taluka category, the charges is up to 200 KLD. It is 6 rupees per 1000 liters. For 1 KLD, it is 6 rupees. If your groundwater usage is 75 KLD, is 75 rupees, 75 KLD into 6 rupees. If your usage is more than 200 KLD, that is 200,000 liters, then it is 10 rupees per KLD. The slab changes.
That is 10 rupees is about 200 afterwards, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
No,
up to 206, about 200, like electricity bill.
No. Here it is not like that. If your groundwater withdrawal, say you take NOC for 210 KLD, you fall into 10 rupees slab.
So overall, it will be what once you cross
Yes.
200, it is 10 rupees per KLD standard.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Your
okay.
charges will be calculated for every KLD 10 rupees.
Clear, madam. Clear.
Please proceed.
Yes, sir. On BWSSB supplying 100% quantity, what should be done to the borewell? Can they be kept operational for emergency use? They can be kept operational for emergency use, but the borewell should be registered with KGWA. Registration is mandate. Whether you use it or you don't use it, your borewell should get registered. If the usage quantity for the limited period also is of commercial quantity. Say for example, BWSSB supplies only during monsoon and winter months. In summer month, BWSSB does not supply. You use groundwater for only those 3 months. Then also you should take NOC. Can this borewell be used if borewell water supply, BWSSB supply is partial? Yes. Even if it is partial, as I already mentioned, you will have some total requirement of 100 KLD. Say 60 KLD is fulfilled by BWSSB. So you will be depending on for remaining 40 KLD on groundwater. So you will have to take your take NOC for your partial requirement also. Website to register for NOC is not working sometimes. When working, no OTP coming. This was a very old issue, sir. Now the site has been enhanced to the maximum level. Such issues will not occur, and even if it occurs, it will be resolved in a day or two. That is maximum. They resolve the issues at the earliest. So you need not worry of using the portal. They respond soon. If they don't respond, we will make sure that they respond to your queries at the earliest.
Yeah, please.
Next question is, we had few borewells given by the builder that were not in working condition. That we already cleared. If the borewells are running and the groundwater is being used, then NOC must be obtained. To check whether this borewell has been rejuvenated by rainwater and its sustainability and all, you will have to get it inspected by our district officer, technical officer, senior geologist, or a deputy director. Install flow meter for all your borewells to monitor your groundwater usage. That will be one of the conditions of our NOC. So what we suggest is, before you take NOC also, you have a flow meter installed to your borewells. That will give you a clear picture of your usage also. Most of the apartments will not be knowing what is their requirement.
Abandoned borewell recharge borewell convert ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು.
If any of your borewells are abandoned, that is they are dried up and silted or roots encountered, and you are not using those borewells, you can use them for use them as recharge structure. You can use them for recharging groundwater. Does NOC is applicable even to the housing society fall under the Gram Panchayat limits? The Government of India notification clearly specifies applicability only to urban areas. Besides, we are not getting supply from any local water supply. In the first few slides of my presentation, I mentioned that in the state of Karnataka, for groundwater regulation, the Karnataka Groundwater Authority has been formed. Since water is a state subject, so state has the full power for regulation and control. So here state act and rules and guidelines prevail. So if your housing society falls in rural area, and as I told earlier, if it is a commercial use, you will have to take NOC. If NOC is not applicable, since NOC is applicable for all the commercial users, KSPCB is insisting for obtaining NOC permission for groundwater withdrawal. So that is correct. What the general conditions they are imposing is correct, and it is applicable. if earlier borewell has been registered with BWSSB and borewell charges are being paid to BWSSB, is there additional registration to be done? This question I've already cleared. The thing is, if you have a borewell registration certificate in Form 5A from BWSSB, then you need not register again. If you don't have Form 5A, then you will have to get your borewell registered. We had this case earlier also. Then we had a discussion with BWSSB people. They clearly mentioned us that what the charges they collect is for the sanitation load that is being added because of groundwater usage. So they have sanitation arrangement for the Kaveri water they supply. So if any building is using groundwater, that gives additional load on the sanitation arrangement. So they are collecting this groundwater cess and cess for maintenance of that sanitation arrangement. That's what we understand from BWSSB people. So that is not groundwater usage charges. It is for the groundwater load on the sanitation arrangement which is in place, which is made for the Kaveri water. What jurisdiction does BWSSB have to charge for groundwater cess? Yeah, this is already cleared. It is clear as per earlier property laws that water beneath and on the land owned by a owner belongs to him. So kindly explain under which act is the KGWD empowered to register borewells on a property. As I mentioned earlier, the Karnataka Groundwater Regulation and Control of Development and Management Act 11 and Rules 2012 has come into effect in the state of Karnataka since April 2012. Under the provisions of this Act and Rules, Karnataka Groundwater Authority has been formed. Under the Act and Rules, under Section 11, we are 11, 12 and 13, we are registering the borewells and we are issuing NOC for groundwater withdrawal. We have committees at state level headed by secretary and at district level headed by DC. Under the provisions of this Act, only borewells are being registered. These are the queries that I had received yesterday. If you have any further queries, you can please raise your queries. We have with us our Deputy Director, Madam also from District Office, Bangalore Urban District. And I have my colleague, Mr. Nagaraj, Senior Geologist. So we will clarify your doubts.
Pradeep, please coordinate the next questions and try to tell them to avoid the questions already raised, already answered.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So therefore, I will not reiterate whichever, like for example, somebody said, what is the validity of the license? Anyway, we know it is for 2 years, like Madam explained. I think there is a query saying that will the FAQs be available? I think we'll make it available. Anyway, this is also going to go on the BAF YouTube channel, so one can go through that again. Srinivas, you have a question which says that something about CGWB. Would you like to ask that?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I hope I am audible.
Yes.
Sir, so as per the September 2020 guidelines for groundwater abstraction issued by CGWA, it says there's a different categorization for residential apartments and group housing societies, and it is different from commercial usage, and there are different rates for how much water you use. So I just wanted to confirm with Madam, because I think there was a mention that apartments are considered as commercial users. If there are more than 4 crores. So I just want to reconfirm whether the state authority is following all the classifications that is mentioned in this 2020 September notification, or is there different document that we should be referring?
Madam, did you understand Mr. Srinivas' question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whatever the notification that was issued by CGWA, Central Groundwater Authority, is applicable for those states which are not regulated by state authority. However, groundwater regulation, control and management is monitored for all the states by the central government. So what central government insists is that states should have groundwater regulation measures on par with the central government regulation methods, or the regulation should be more stringent than that. It cannot be less than central government's restrictions or regulations. So since in Karnataka state, Karnataka Groundwater Authority is in place and is being enacted, so here the Act and rules and guidelines of KGWA prevails. So here we don't have separate category as group housing society. We have the categories as infrastructure, mining, industry, entertainment, and other users. So the group housing society also fall under infrastructure.
Okay, sure, madam. Thank you for clarifying that.
Pradeep, can I ask a question, Pradeep?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah, madam, thank you for all the clarifications given. I have a question.
Yes,
If
sir.
a new premise coming up, a person to drink a glass of water has to keep the glass empty for 3 months before drinking 1 glass of water. That's what I understand from your presentation. At least an application takes about 3 months. After that, he has to dig the bore well. Why should that take so much of time? Number one. Number two, if all the, suppose an apartment has 100 flats, there are 100 residents. If all the 100 residents live separately, they would have 100 bore wells. Instead, we are a community where a common borewell is dug for 100 people. Why do you want to consider us as commercial or industrial or whatever it is?
Infrastructure.
And
Nice name.
separately talk to us like different from the individual houses. That's my question.
Sir, if 100 households in one location or 100 individual houses, why this discrepancy? That's what your question. Sir, your question itself has the answer, sir. 100 households at 100 locations, it is spread in a wide area. There is no stress on groundwater at one particular location. Here we are concerned about the stress on groundwater. We are concerned indirectly about your well-being only, because this water supply should sustain. Sustainability matters. Say you withdraw water at one location for 100 households. Imagine the groundwater stress. How much stress you are imposing on the groundwater at one particular point. If you withdraw in that rate, whether this borewell will sustain for 15-20 years as it used to sustain in our households. When we were at individual houses, our open wells were sustaining for more than 10-12 years. Now bore wells get dried up within a year or two. The reason is because of this only, over stressing on the groundwater. That is, our withdrawal is more than recharge. In one rain year, the water should get replenished. What we were drawing from open wells was a replenishable groundwater. In an annual rainfall, that quantity was getting replenished. So that we call it as dynamic groundwater, which is getting replenished in one rain year. But we are drawing water from deeper inside, which will take 10, 20, 50 years to get rejuvenated. If you want to refill the water that you are extracting today, you will have to take measures for 10, 20 years. So there is stress on groundwater. That's why we call you as commercial users, so that you can take measures to recharge it. Why we ask to recharge 200% of your withdrawal, or we permit only 50% of your recharge capacity, is because of this. Individual houses at 100 locations, they hardly draw 500 liters to 1000 liters one day. I understand for 5 persons in a family, hardly you require 500 liters or 1000 liters at the max if you are leading a very luxurious life.
Well answered, madam. You did answer the first question. 3 months of gap or 4 months of gap to get
So
the
3 months is for NOC, sir. 3 months is for NOC. For getting a permission to drill a bore well, you will not. It will not take 3 months time. It will happen within a month. And you can drill your, you can say it is like other permissions, sir. You go to BWSSB for plan approval, BBMP for some plan approval, that will take at least 15-20 days. You apply parallelly for this also. So this will take hardly 22-25 days or a maximum 1 month for getting permission to drill a bore well. But for NOC. But when you come for NOC, we don't say that you don't use your groundwater before you get your NOC at all. That too for the domestic users. Because we cannot, the water is a very basic commodity, which we cannot restrict so much. So when there is this 3 months process going on for issue of NOC, as till today, we have not restricted any user, commercial or a domestic user, from withdrawing the water. Many people has this question also. What is the time limit for, what is the last date for applying? What is the time limit? Even central government is questioning us. Why you are not so stringent? Why you are not giving NOC or imposing regulatory actions on your users? The reason being, this is a basic commodity. We cannot be so strict. We will have to give time for you people. We will have to bring you in under this purview. Our basic idea is to make you understand the importance of recharge, understand the importance of withdrawal quantity. If you withdraw less, you will be adding less load on groundwater. So groundwater will get sustained for the future use also. So sustainability is our main aim. So through recharge only we can sustain. For recharge, the only source we have is rainwater. The next source is recycle and reuse. Reuse our water, recycle it and reuse it. So to make people understand the importance of recycling, reusing, harvesting rainwater, recharging, we are bringing all the users under this NOC purview. It is not to make stringent conditions and make you people not to use the groundwater. It's not like that. Use it wisely and take measures accordingly, according to your usage, and take extra measures in your vicinity also, in your watershed, in your surrounding. Take some improvement measures to recharge your surrounding areas so that we can sustain. We are already in the overexploited category, so that we can sustain for the future. Very simple.
Thank you, madam.
You have mentioned that Aadhaar card is a requirement for submitting the application. No association will have an Aadhaar card. Aadhaar card is individualized. In the absence of Aadhaar card, what do you suggest?
Actually, it will accept other two things also. One is voter ID and the other one is PAN card. Sorry,
But all are individual, no, madam.
This is only for registering purpose, sir. Your Aadhaar number will not be used anywhere, only for one-time registration.
I'll just come into it.
If you have any suggestions, please give it to us, sir. We have no issues in enhancing our web portal with your suggestions. We will be very pleased with that. If you have any suggestions, please do so. We don't, we are not like close type where we don't want to take up any suggestions. If you have any suggestions for that, please give it to us. We will add it to our portal.
Thank you. Thank you. Satish, you have a point.
Yeah, actually, in the BESCOM point of view also, when you apply for a solar, somebody has to sign the document for power purchase agreement. So normally in an association, a president will sign. The president Aadhaar card is acceptable. President PAN card is acceptable.
Yes.
So similarly, here also anything something like that, or association have a PAN card or association have a GST registration. So this
Yes.
2-3 things can be considered.
Okay.
Association
Sir,
has
yes,
been
yes.
started.
What I understand is, OTP issue it is basically for the OTP identification.
Yes, sir. That's why I suggest give a mobile number that is accessible to you, and that mobile is very you often use, where you often get OTPs from other services.
Aadhaar is the one which is linked to our mobile. That is the reason maybe.
One question, ma'am, based on this, since the members of the committee keep changing in an apartment, so suppose there is a change in the the president and secretary, can the Aadhaar and the telephone number change? Or once it is done, then because if that person leaves or he decides that he doesn't want to cooperate, then you're stuck.
Once it is done, we need not further.
At the time of MOC.
At the time of renewal, you can again register with a new member of your association and apply for
Yes,
renewal.
ma'am.
Not an issue.
Yes, ma'am. We do for the CFO also similar way. CFO we did it. So it is possible in the software. You'll have to give us in the portal. You have to change a mobile number or something like that.
Yeah.
We will incorporate it, sir.
Okay. All right. So, yes, sir. Nagaraja sir.
Yeah. No, please proceed.
Yes. So we have actually gone beyond our time. It's already 5:30 now. But I think I would like to thank the entire team at Karnataka Groundwater for taking time and ensuring that a lot of our questions are responded to and answered. Satish, will we be collating all this and putting it somewhere on the BAF portal? I think we'll probably need to do that.
We'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. So thank you so much, ma'am. JAYANNA sir and JAGADESHWARI madam, and I think one other director had joined. I'm sorry, I didn't catch
you,
the name.
Thank you very much, sir.
Srimati Ambika.
Ambika madam, thank you so much. What we would like you to take is that the entire team, as well as the people who are participating today, the very reason they are participating is because we want to be responsible people. We want to live sustainably, and we want to make Bangalore green and sustainable once again. And therefore, we are in agreement to ensure that we are responsible in drawing water and using. However, some of these things that are there, we hope it will not kind of elongate the timelines and make people frustrated with this process of NOCs and the permission for withdrawal and things like that. Of course, we do not know at this point of time because we are about to enter and make it work. So we will go ahead and try, and with the relationship that we are about to build, we hope that we will start moving faster and faster. We currently, as you might know, have over 1,100 members as part of the Bangalore Apartment Federation. And this whole process will mean that everybody will slowly come to know, and more new members coming in will also start registering and ensuring that they take permission for withdrawal of water. Thank you so much for all the support.
Pradeep, I have one last question.
Yes.
Just last one question. Is there any cutoff date for registration of old bore wells?
Sir, no cutoff date. Sir. No cutoff date. You can
get it registered, sir. But actually, we usually notify the talukas. So from the date of notification, 120 days will be provided for registering their existing bore wells. Since those 120 days has already expired, you can get your bore wells registered. As I earlier said, our idea is to bring everyone into this stream.
Exactly. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah.
Main thing. You can get it registered even now.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I must thank individually JAYANNA sir and Jagadambika. So much time I troubled you because a lot of queries I used to get, and I used to pick up the phone and call you. Thank you so much. for your cooperation, sir.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. It's
Thank you
our
very much,
duty
sir.
to. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
It's our duty,
Your
sir.
committee is refreshed to our.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir, it's our duty, sir, to give awareness to public about our process and our services. BAF gave us an opportunity to give an awareness kind of a presentation to such a huge gathering. I think by this, many people will come under the purview of NOC, will take necessary measures, and we will have a sustainable groundwater users.
Situation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you. Thanks everybody.
Thank you, sir. Satish Madam given a very good presentation. This meeting is very fruitful. What I feel. Today's you are all know the procedure of uploading the application for seeking the NOC.
Yes.
And be in touch with the department. We'll coordinate your problems, and we'll solve your problems our level best.
Thank you.
And please educate your same kind of organization to take the NOC, and you can arrange the workshops and other kind of programs for rainwater harvesting and recharging measures for groundwater. We will participate, sir. Your apartment association is very good friend to our department, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Satish and Pradeep.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.